I'm out on the back patio, and I thought it would be kind of cool to share with you some things I'm learning about herbs, and just do some quick little videos on single herbs and tell you what I'm doing with them and maybe what you can do with them as well. So let's get started on one that's right out here, right out my back door. So the first one I was going to start with was rosemary. Now I'm just going to tell you, this poor rosemary plant looks awful because I really haven't paid much attention since we got this really cold snap, but it was really green. And now it's not. I was gonna brag on my plant that's like lived for years in the winter, and I don't even know how long I've had this plant. I do think it's still alive. I just checked the bark and it's not dry inside. Like there's still life in the stems. So I think what I'm probably gonna have to do is maybe cut it back or just wait until spring and see if new green comes out. But right now I think just about every leaf on it is dead from the cold snap when it got below 0. But we're going to talk about it anyways. I was just hoping it was prettier. It's like kind of brown grayish color now, not green. I'm sitting on my upside down pond here that has been sitting out, that, you know, I'm trying to get up, maybe the courage to dig a hole, put it in the ground. I don't know, but I'm using it as a seat. So my poor little rosemary plant here, I guess I'll have to wait, see if it comes back. So rosemary is probably one that most people are familiar with because you could use it in your kitchen. But some of its uses, it actually, I'm going to read this from this book. It actually enhances brain function, boosts memory, reduces headaches, reduces stress. It promotes liver function. One of the reasons why I'm interested in the rosemary is for the brain function and the boost memory. I seem to have, whoa, get off of that. I seem to have brain fog and things like that, so I'm looking for herbs to kind of help that, help with brain function. Now when you harvest, you're supposed to harvest it sprigs, so I will harvest like a whole sprig and take it in. You can use it right away. You can cut it up and use it fresh. You can dry it. I freeze dry it sometimes. I have some in jars that are freeze dried. And now this is kind of hard to, as far as I know, to start. So to propagate this is kind of difficult. I would like to try to see if I could do that because I have had this one for quite a while. It has quite a woody stem on it, like the bottom of it's pretty good size for a rosemary bush, I think. So I'll have to just kind of see if I can propagate maybe some if it comes back out. But basically you'll cut this whole sprig off. There one here. Like, so you would cut, if this was actually green and not falling off, so you would cut this whole sprig off. But this probably, you can tell like it goes for the sun, it goes that way. But yeah, these poor things are just, they're literally just falling off everywhere. It does still smell good. So whenever I rubbed on this branch down here, I don't know if you can see that, it actually still smelled good. So it still has life in it. My poor little rosemary plant, you know, lives. I should have covered it up. I didn't even think of it because it's lived through the winter so much. But so you can, of course, use this in cooking. You can make tinctures out of this. You can put it in alcohol and tincture it that way. I'm pretty sure you could also use a glycerite, vegetable glycerin, and make a glycerite with it as well. You can make a tea with it. You just use like 1 to 2 teaspoons of dried rosemary to 1 cup of boiling water and use it as a tea. Now, they say to use rosemary essential oil sparingly, up to 2 drops, because if you've ever used essential oils, you know they're very concentrated. And rosemary is pretty strong anyways. It has a very strong flavor and aroma. So use it very sparingly if you're going to use essential oils. But some of the history of rosemary is interesting. It's actually one of the most widely popular herbs used throughout history. And in the Middle Ages, men and women would place rosemary under their pillows to ward off evil spirits and illness. At one point in history, most brides would wear rosemary dipped in scented water, either as a head or neck wraps or in their bouquets. Now, today we use rosemary mainly as a culinary herb, like what I mentioned earlier, but it does have medicinal purposes as well, like I mentioned. It can treat depression, headaches, stress, arthritis, and digestion. Just be careful with the amount that you ingest, and always be cautious because it can be toxic in extremely high doses. Now, we're talking like a lot, you know. You can put it in your food and cook with it and stuff like that. It's not going to hurt you, but I would say if you put very much in it, you're going to know, because it's not going to taste like anything else. It's going to overpower everything. So I'm just excited to use herbs. I'm excited to use my herbs that I have out here more so than what I have before. Use it for more than just cooking. So be sure to kind of check back, and be sure to like and subscribe if you want to get notifications on when I'm doing these little videos for single herbs, and just kind of sharing with you what I'm learning. Now, what I would love for you to do is, if you know about some of these herbs and like what you use them for, or something you found that really works well for you, I would love for you to share that below, because I am all about learning all kinds of new things for these herbs. So be sure to share, be sure to comment below if you have good ideas, and I hope you just enjoyed this very short little rosemary video, and don't forget to be lovely lights today.